All right, let's say you're a new online casino provider. You're ready to go, and you're looking at Europe. You see one continent, one massive golden opportunity. But what you're about to find out is that Europe's online gambling world isn't a single market. It's a maze, and your very first turn takes you straight to Germany. And right away, Germany hits the brakes. Not so fast, they say. Suddenly, you're buried in a totally different set of rules for everything from how much tax you pay to your responsibilities for safe gambling. And that's your first lesson. This is not the unified Europe you were dreaming of. Okay, so you pivot. Let's try France. But then you slam into another wall. Online slots, probably the most popular casino game on the planet, completely banned. Just like that, a huge piece of your business plan is gone. Frustrated, you look to Sweden, thinking, surely this will be easier. But no, another unexpected roadblock. They put a hard cap on the amount of bonus money you can offer to new players. It might seem like a tiny detail, but it completely changes your entire marketing strategy. This little nightmare scenario? Well, it isn't just a bad dream for some made-up casino. It's the frustrating everyday reality for anyone trying to do business in Europe's gambling market. It's one continent, but dozens and dozens of different rulebooks.
One source put it perfectly. They said navigating this whole thing is like playing roulette blindfolded, only the wheel changes rules every time it spins. It's just a chaotic, unpredictable game for the operators.
And this chaos isn't just some bureaucratic oversight. It's actually a symptom of a much deeper conflict, a fundamental clash of national interests, and two very, very different ideas about what gambling should even be.
And this slide really breaks down those two competing philosophies. On one hand, you have the open doors. Countries like Malta and Gibraltar. They basically roll out the red carpet for operators, focusing on the economic boost. But then you have the fortresses, places like France and Norway. They guard their markets like hawks, worried about social harm and trying to protect their citizens from outside companies.
And let's be clear, this is about more than just rules. It's about power. It's about tax revenue, cultural values, and protecting huge state-run monopolies. I mean, take Finland. Their state-owned gambling company, Veikkaus, actually funds a huge chunk of their public services. So asking them to open their borders to competition isn't just asking them to change a law, it's like asking them to tear down a pillar of their society.
But in the middle of all this fragmentation, there's a quiet but growing push for a really radical solution, a single EU-wide set of regulations.
For that provider we talked about in the beginning, this would be an absolute dream come true. Just imagine, one license for every member state, one set of rules for player protection, and one central authority making sure it's all fair. It would mean way less bureaucracy and finally, some much-needed consistency.
But here's the thing. While all the politicians are debating, technology is already forcing the issue. You have this unstoppable force, the internet, crashing right up against this immovable object, national borders. And it is completely changing the game. I mean, online platforms in crypto betting really don't care about lines on a map. A player in Italy can be on a site based in Malta in seconds. The whole idea of national control is starting to look, well, a little outdated. So how are the national regulators supposed to deal with this technological tsunami that's just washing away their borders? They're scrambling. That's the simple answer. The old country-by-country model is under massive pressure. And right now, the regulators are just stuck in a constant game of catch-up. So what does the future actually look like? Most experts agree that total, complete unity is probably not going to happen. Instead, we're likely headed for something called partial harmonization. That means shared digital standards for the really critical stuff, things like universal customer ID checks, consistent advertising rules across the EU, and a unified approach to using AI tools. All of this really brings us to a huge, fundamental question. In a digital world without borders, who actually holds the power? Who truly owns the rules of this high-stakes game?
Is it the big, borderless casinos whose technology just vaults over any national boundary?
Is it the individual countries, each one desperately trying to hold on to its own laws and its piece of the very lucrative tax revenue? Or is it the European Union as it tries to build a single, unified digital market that can compete on a global scale? Because here's the thing, Europe may share a currency, it may have open borders for goods and people, but when it comes to the high-stakes world of gambling, every single nation still wants to be the one holding all the chips. And that central tension, that's what's going to define this industry for years to come.